Glorious day to you, my friends. Sihuturu nara arakanahe tarata. Happy full moon. Isahatata haritarata. When we celebrate the cycles of the moon, we're celebrating the cycles of life. We're celebrating the cycles of the breath. We're celebrating all cycles. You already know the title. I've got 3 possibilities. We'll see which one turns out. This full moon, this total lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is at its greatest magnitude over Hawaii, the heart chakra of the planet. So, one of the working titles, total eclipse of the heart. Well, that's what's happening here. So that reminded me of the 1983 song Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. And when doing a little bit of research on the song, the same writer of the song, Jim Steinman, I believe, he also wrote the Air Supply song at the same time on the charts at the same time in 1983. And it's interesting because these 2 songs are exactly this eclipse. The eclipse is Libra and Virgo. They have to do with both of those things, and that's what these 2 songs are about. Bonnie Tyler, our idealized harmony, and of the idealized harmony of the Air Supply song and Libra, and it's often eclipsed by our faded reality of the total eclipse of the heart, the reality of how love is, how life is. Isakanata arahatati arahata. We're also in, this is a very interesting and special eclipse. We're in Saros 133, which happens once every 18 years. L'chaim. This is life here we're talking about. And again, everything that we talk about in this channel is really just about a permission slip for you to be awesome. That's it. It's as simple as that, because you are already successful. You're already a sovereign soul. And this is what we're doing here. We're going to pulse with the heartbeat of Gaia. We're going to align our heartbeat with the heartbeat of the planet for this faded reality, this physicality, this geometry of this matrix that we're in here. And when we pulse and align our heartbeat with Gaia, we're aligning our conscious mind with our own heart center and with the reality that we are creating. It's as simple as that. By aligning the heart, by aligning with the heart of both our heart mind, Hridaya, and of Gaia, this 3D reality, we're accepting the conditions of this life because we chose this life. We're accepting the conditions of this 3D reality, which is based in contrast. So, interestingly, this is mapped to and connected with the same lunation on February 17th. The new moon, the lunar new year of the fire horse. I should just channel. So the question becomes, it's a Virgo question, what is our daily routine? Okay, what's our daily routine that's actually serving our relationship with ourself that we want to have? The relationship with our heart. What is our daily routine that's supporting this? Write it down in the comments or write it in your journal. It doesn't matter. It matters. It matters to you, and you expressing it to the universe is going to help it matter to you. It's you declaring your own identity. This is me, and this is what I want out of life. This is what the declaration to the universe is all about. This is our ask, and the universe must comply by law. And when we're aligned and in heart coherence, it happens much faster because we have let go of the attachment to the outcome, and we're simply dancing in the bliss of our heart center, this tandava of who we really are, of our true self, our heart center. We're always dancing this dance of bliss. It's our conscious mind that sees this reality as duality. So we have, again, the Virgo Libra contrast. We've got our idealized harmony. This is the blueprint of what we want to create with the functional reality of the harvest. That's what this is what we're doing with manifestation. We have a dream. We set this dream off like a lantern. We set the lantern up, and the universe then recognizes. And here's the key part, is that we are this universe. So the more that we believe in the lanterns that we send up, the more that it is going to come in concrete form, because the more attention we're giving it, and it is coming to us. In my upcoming book, The Economy of the Soul, this is a channel book, okay? So there's this idea of a sanity budget, this routine that we do every day, the self-soothing that we get ourselves back to feeling like ourselves. This is the tax on our reality, not the self-soothing part, but all the other things that require us to do the self-soothing part. When we're in this world of contrast, when we see this world as contrast, when we see it as hot and cold, good and bad, I want this and I don't want that. When we see it as preference, now we're more aligned with our coherent heart. We cohere in presence with our heart and our desires. This is a feeling universe. Our desires are valid. What we really want to create is the validity of who we are. This is our identity and how we create in this physicality. So the sanity budget, if there were another way for us to have a viewpoint where we're not obsessed with, oh, am I going to be rejected? Am I going to fail? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Is it going to hurt? Is it not going to hurt? Well, guess what? We get to apply the meaning to it. So we can choose not to get hurt even though we fail based on our definition of success. So this sanity budget, how are we self-soothing to stay aligned in this world? Okay, that's one question. That's the question we ask ourselves in this world of duality and contrast. So, in the book, we explore Dvaita and Advaita, the idea of dualism or contrast, and then moving into unity, where the observer, we as the seer, the drashtar, and the scene, drastya, where they become one, where we understand that we are this universe, that we are the observer, and we're the thing being seen. We are consciousness observing itself. The more we're in our heart center, the more that becomes a reality for us. And the more we get to unleash the power, this inevitable power of the heart center, of Hridaya, this heart life, living a heart-centered life. And then we don't see things as hurtful, harmful, fearful. We see them as experiences. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Would you apply for the new job? Would you start a new business? Would you ask somebody out? Talk to somebody? Whoever it is, it does not matter. What would you do if you weren't afraid and let go of this fear of rejection, of failure. This is all about experience. You're choosing it on purpose because you want to. And this is the shift, the great shift that everybody's talking about, whether they call it a flash or a shift. It happens in a flash, that you decide to be awesome, your own true awesome itself, your true authentic self. You're choosing it because it's valid, because you are now self-validating. It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not your kids. It's not your friends. It's not anybody else who's validating your existence. It's you who is validating your own existence. Where you choose to be free, where you choose to be self-validating and self-organizing, and to become the self-organizing, radiant whole as we cohere in presence. The seer and the seen become one. And then our true power is unlatched. Yes. And then when we realize that we are always 100% successful, and we have always been 100% successful. All this self-soothing and this practice and this convincing ourselves with the fake it until we make it, all this is we're establishing a stable reference point of who we really are and who we choose to be, how we choose to see life. And maybe at the beginning it doesn't feel authentic, but sooner or later, sooner than later, you will start to see the wisdom in your own programming of yourself and your own validating of yourself. And then all the other pressure of performing for everyone else is now gone out of the way. You stop having to be the hero of your own life, because the hero is always fighting a battle. The hero is always attempting to triumph. This is what the drama of this life is all about, is being triumphant over the odds. We all love the story. We all love it. But when we stop being the hero of our own story and start being the author of our own story, we can then be the hero of our own story. Because we're writing the plot points. We're not subject to the plots anymore. We are creating the plot points. We are creating this life. We are assigning the meaning to it, and we choose which obstacles we wish to face, which ones we choose to overcome, and we remember that we are 100% successful all of the time. Even if we go down in failure, how many heroic stories have never been written because the hero dies in the first chapter? There are countless and countless of stories on planet Earth and in the Akashic records that are literally written everywhere in there. But we can gain inspiration from all those, what we're deeming as failures. But those are successful stories of taking the big swing. Only the heroes that have survived the fires of the library or the conquest or whatever, those are the stories that we're hearing about today, only because they survived by some means of life. So that leaves us with the third story, the third song, Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. What are you going to choose? What thought process are you going to adopt and cultivate in your own life? How are you going to practice it and reinforce it while you're faking it until you make it? When this flash happens, when the shift happens, you can't unshift. You can shift again. But this is what the whole revolution of bliss is about. Is we stop trying to practice to self-soothe, that we cohere with the heart so that the flow happens everywhere in our life. And then the only thing left to do is to dance our dance of joy and bliss while we create this abundant life that we wish to create without fear, without shame, without guilt, without grief, with love, living life, l'chaim, as the true you. Nita hatara arkana hasata uta hira nara hatatara hatatara tata. So maybe write down in your journal how you're going to celebrate tonight. Maybe you're going to run out to the store and buy one of the Chinese lanterns and light it and let go of those things that are holding you back. And maybe you will send up some wishes and dreams to the universe on how your life, how you wish it to come forth and emerge from your effort, effortlessly, inevitably, as the successful sovereign soul that you already are. Your engine is already humming. It is it. The only choice left is how radiant do you want your soul to be? That's it. That's it. Because existence is existence. Your engine's already running on all cylinders. And the only thing we need to do is see the radiance emitting from ourselves. Kitara, nata, hisko ur, hotora harana hakeyara. So I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Happy full moon. Nito hutur uruhunortakara hatatariata. So shine on. Shine on from your heart center, from your inner being, your true authentic self. Shine on with your true authentic self. And maybe even shine on as your true authentic self. And start writing your own story. And make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Nito hata shaya a taharata hakaya ha.